Let's talk about Gaelic culture, and in particular how the females who call themselves Gaels and Irish or something they call themselves today. I don't know what they fucking call themselves. I call them tribe traitors. How they disrespect their culture for the foreign heathen seducing tongue. By rights, no Gaelic woman should be allowed to marry outside the faith. And every Gaelic woman is required by faith and by culture to make herself available for the champions when they come to town. And I'm like, what's a champion? Someone that stands out. A champion is sealed. You're going to see like 144,000 men from each tribe or something like that. There's 1,200 from 12,000 from 11 tribes is going to be sealed on the forehead. And that's the sign of a champion. God personally puts a stamp on that individual. He's a champion. That's because he's sealed on the forehead. He's mentioned in Revelations. He has an adamant harder than flint growing on his forehead. And the females, by Gaelic culture, were supposed to make themselves available for breeding. And they were supposed to behave in a submissive, seductive manner around these men, because these men are lions of Judah. These men are from the tribes, the Israelites, Hebrews, Messianic Hebrews, descendants of the Lord's chosen people. Not to be confused with the heathen or anyone else. I'm not here to placate women on their whims. Women have to show humility, because they're all pompous little bastards these days, especially the ones coming out of the colleges. Think their shit doesn't smell. And they try to rule over us with a tyranny, a politically correct tyranny. You can't say anything to them when they call the fucking Garda, because they're horrible traitors. Especially the last generation sold all their children out to the banks and all for a couple of 100 years into debt, slavery. These people are have no honour price. I stood up on the hill of Tara, the hill of the Torah, and called them all to arms. I called them and says, come here, let's take on the heathen, let's kick them off these islands. And what did the Irish do? They sided with them against me. They left me with me dick swinging in the wind on the hill of Tara to take all the flack off on Garda Síochána, raiding me house and all, because I tried to put them word to the fact that they were being overrun by heathen and taken into slavery, but it mattered not. They wanted their foreign holidays. They wanted their new fucking imported foreigner's motor. They wanted their foreigner dicky. They wanted the seducing tongue. That's what they chose, the seducing tongue, when those champions who stood to defend the faith, the Gaelic faith of sacred unity, called, they ignored them. Still to this day they're snubbing them. And they think they're going to get a reward for that. They're sadly mistaken. There's a price to pay for directly challenging Jesus Christ and his authority and his rules. There's a price to pay, especially if they don't repent. One of the main things that they do is they don't listen to their husband. The man that they live with, in the house with, or that comes home to them at night, they don't listen to him. They teach the kids that mommy has an equal say to daddy. That's a load of bollocks. Mommy can't be trusted, and that's the fact. Mommy and the like of her can't be trusted, they never could be. Lilith, trouble. Eve, trouble. Sodom and Gomorrah, Sarah. Rather than listen to God, she'd rather be turned to a pillar of salt. Hebrew women, Messianic Hebrew, Gaelic women, are mouthy, disrespectful, fucking wayward bitches. And if you take your eye out them for a second, they'll fuck you. And they'll get someone to fuck you, they'll stab you in the back in seconds. Doesn't matter how long you're around them. One year, all of a sudden, one day, they'll decide they want shot at you. They'll call the Garda, they'll call the neighbours, they'll call the fucking social services, they'll even just to get their own way, they'll even break their own children's hearts. That's what they're like. They need to be ruled over. That's why the Most High said, when he made this Adam's second wife, Eve, he said, rule over her. As a foundation stone of Gallic culture, Gallic civilization, to accept humility and to humble yourself in the presence of your Khan, your husband, your man, the Khan, the king, representing for Jesus in the gaff, the house. That's the way it goes. So when these men, you see these men, you don't go for these slippery little so-called educated and eating college with a few euros. That's not who you want to be breeding for. You want to be breeding for the champions. The men who God sealed on the forehead, so there's no mistaking them for the slippery tongues because you're so easily seduced. The last thing they want to hear on these islands is the truth. Especially out of the mouth of a man with scars and tattoos. Yeah, they don't want to hear it. They want to hear these little slippery, poncy, cunts, giggly little fucking pretty boys. That's what they want. They want to hear the pretty boys. Pretty boys are no good in battle. They get grabbed and get the ass raped by the heathen. They're no good in battle. They get fucked like bitches. So, good for nothing bitches. When you see a champion, make yourself available. If you're one of the most popular pretty girls at school, you bring your around yourself for breeding. Won't take long, especially if you're pretty. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Bring your friends as well. Round to the champions. Say, please, bless me with the seed of a champion, the Lord's chosen. I beseech thee, almighty warrior. You little maggots.